I don't care if she's having a baby. I don't care if there's an emergency. The law is the law, and I shouldn't have to pay because some hospital doesn't have enough parking spots. Those words hang in the air of Providence, Municipal Court. Judge Frank Caprio looks up from his desk. His eyes narrow. He takes off his reading glasses. He sets them down slowly. The man who just spoke is Nathan Cross. He's 29 years old. He stands in front of the judge wearing a sharp navy suit. His tie is perfectly straight. His shoes are polished so bright you could see your reflection. His hair is slicked back with expensive gel. On his wrist sits a Tag Heuer watch, the kind that costs about $8,000. His wedding ring gleams under the courtroom lights. It's thick gold with small diamonds embedded in it. Nathan's lawyer stands next to him. The lawyer is sweating. He's already tried 3 times to get Nathan to stop talking. Nathan ignored him every time. This is case 2025 TR 92573. The charge is simple: illegal parking in a hospital fire lane. The fine is $150. But this case is about to become anything but simple. If you believe that everyone should face equal justice under the law, no matter their excuse, you're going to want to see how this unfolds. Judge Caprio leans back in his chair. Mr. Cross, let me make sure I understand you correctly. Your wife was in labor. You drove her to Rhode Island Hospital. And you parked in a fire lane marked with clear red paint and multiple signs that say no parking, emergency vehicles only. Is that correct? Nathan nods. Yeah, that's right. But like I said, it was an emergency. My emergency. So the ticket should be dismissed. The judge picks up a piece of paper. According to the parking officer's report, you were inside the hospital for 4 hours. Your vehicle remained in the fire lane for the entire time. During that period, 2 ambulances had to navigate around your Mercedes to reach the emergency entrance. One of those ambulances was carrying a heart attack victim. The delay was approximately 90 seconds. Nathan shrugs. His shoulders barely move. 90 seconds? That's nothing. Besides, I had my hazard lights on. That means emergency parking. A woman in the back of the courtroom makes a sound. It's not quite a gasp. It's more like a sharp breath. She's wearing scrubs. Her name tag says RN. She works at that hospital. Judge Caprio sets the paper down. Mr. Cross, where exactly was your wife during these 4 hours? She was upstairs having the baby, obviously, Nathan says. He checks his watch. Actually looks at it. Like he has somewhere better to be. So you were not with her. I was for the first hour. Then I went down to move the car, but there was literally nowhere to park. The parking garage was full. Street parking was full. So I just went back to where I was. I figured 4 hours isn't that long. You figured you'd just leave your car in a fire lane for 4 hours. Well, yeah. What else was I supposed to do? Circle around the block forever? Miss my son being born? That seems worse than a parking ticket. The judge writes something down. His pen moves slowly across the paper. Let me ask you something else. When did you receive this ticket? Nathan's lawyer touches his arm. Nathan pulls away. The officer put on my windshield about an hour after I parked. I saw it when I came down to check. I threw it in the glove box and went back inside. You saw the ticket and chose to leave your vehicle there anyway. Yeah, because like I told the officer when he came back, I was dealing with something more important. He said he'd have to call a tow truck if I didn't move it. I told him go ahead and try. I'm not moving my car in the middle of my wife having a baby. Someone in the courtroom whispers something. Judge Caprio looks up. Gallery will remain silent, please. He turns back to Nathan. So you were aware you were parked illegally. You were ticketed. You were warned about being towed. And you still refused to move your vehicle. Correct. Because it was an emergency. Mr. Cross, I want to make something very clear. An emergency for you does not suspend the law. Those fire lanes exist for a reason. Emergency vehicles need access. Every second counts when someone's life is at stake. Nathan rolls his eyes. Actually rolls them. Right there in court. Your Honor, with all due respect, my wife was having a baby. That's an emergency too. And before you say anything else, I donate $5,000 a year to Rhode Island Hospital. I think that buys me a little flexibility here. The courtroom gets very quiet. The kind of quiet where you can hear the air conditioning running. You can hear someone's phone buzzing in their pocket, even though it's on silent. Judge Caprio's expression doesn't change. Not yet. I see. You believe your donations give you special parking privileges. I'm saying that I support that hospital. I support this community. I pay my taxes. I follow the rules 99% of the time. So yeah, I think one parking ticket on the night my son is born should probably just go away. The judge opens a folder. Let me read something to you. This is the parking officer's full report. He puts on his glasses again. Officer Michael Torres states, I observed a silver Mercedes-Benz parked in the fire lane at 8:47 p.m. The vehicle had been there for approximately 1 hour based on hospital security footage. I issued citation at 9:15 p.m. At 9:45 p.m., I returned to check if the vehicle had been moved. It had not. I approached the hospital entrance and found the vehicle owner in the lobby. I informed him that his vehicle needed to be moved immediately or it would be towed. The driver, later identified as Nathan Cross, stated, quote, I'm not moving anything. My wife is upstairs. If you tow my car, I'll sue the city and I'll sue you personally. I know people. You're making a mistake, end quote. Nathan's jaw tightens. Just a little. I was stressed. It was a big night. The report continues. Judge Caprio says, at 10:30 p.m., an ambulance arrived with a cardiac emergency patient. The ambulance was forced to stop in the driving lane and navigate around the Mercedes. Paramedics had to wheel the patient an additional 40 feet to reach the entrance. At 11:15 p.m., a second ambulance arrived with a child in respiratory distress. This ambulance also had to navigate around the Mercedes. I radioed for a tow truck at 11:30 p.m. Before the tow truck arrived, at approximately 12:45 a.m., Mr. Cross exited the hospital and drove away. The judge looks up. Does that sound accurate to you? Nathan shifts his weight. I guess. I don't remember all the specific times. You don't remember threatening to sue Officer Torres. I was upset. Like I said, it was a stressful night. Judge Caprio closes the folder. Mr. Cross, let me ask you something. Do you know what Officer Torres does besides write parking tickets? Nathan shrugs again. I don't know. Direct traffic? Whatever parking officers do. Officer Torres is a military veteran. He served 2 tours in Afghanistan. He was injured by an IED in 2016. He has a steel rod in his left leg. He walks with a slight limp. He came home and wanted to serve his community. So he became a parking enforcement officer. He makes $38,000 a year. He works nights and weekends. He has a daughter with cerebral palsy. Her medical bills are expensive. His wife works as a home health aide. Together they make about $70,000 a year. They live in a small apartment in Cranston. They drive a 2009 Honda Civic with 190,000 miles on it. Nathan's face changes. Just slightly. A small crease appears between his eyebrows. You threatened to sue him personally, the judge continues. Do you understand what that means? You threatened to take legal action against a man who makes $38,000 a year because he was doing his job. Because he was trying to keep a fire lane clear so ambulances could save lives. I didn't know all that about him, Nathan says quietly. No, you didn't. Because you didn't ask. You didn't care. You saw a parking officer, and you assumed you could intimidate him. You assumed your money, and your connections made you special. Nathan's lawyer speaks up. Your Honor, my client has already stated he was under extreme stress. His wife was in labor with their first child. Surely the court can understand that emotions were running high. Judge Caprio looks at the lawyer. Counselor, I've been on this bench for 39 years. I've heard every excuse. I've seen every situation. Stress does not give anyone the right to threaten a public servant. Stress does not give anyone the right to endanger other people's lives by blocking emergency access. He looks back at Nathan. Let me tell you about someone else. Her name is Claire Bennett. She's 34 years old. She's a nurse at Rhode Island Hospital. She's worked there for 8 years. She was on duty the night your son was born. In fact, she was one of the nurses who helped deliver him. Nathan looks confused. Okay. Claire was also on duty when that heart attack patient arrived. The one whose ambulance had to navigate around your car. She was part of the team trying to save his life. Every second matters in a heart attack. Every second the heart is without proper blood flow, more damage occurs. 90 seconds might not seem like a lot to you. But to a cardiologist trying to save a life, 90 seconds is the difference between minor damage and major damage. Between recovery and permanent disability. The judge pauses. The patient survived, but he now has permanent heart damage. He'll be on medication for the rest of his life. His quality of life will never be the same. Nathan's face goes pale. Just a shade. I didn't know that would happen. That's the problem, Mr. Cross. You didn't think about it. You didn't think about anyone but yourself. You parked in a fire lane for 4 hours because it was convenient for you. You threatened a parking officer because he inconvenienced you. You assumed your emergency was more important than anyone else's emergency. The courtroom is dead silent now. Everyone is leaning forward, watching, waiting. Nathan clears his throat. Your Honor, I understand what you're saying. I do, but I was there for the birth of my child. That's one of the most important moments in a person's life. I wasn't thinking clearly. I was focused on my family. Then let me ask you this, Judge Caprio says. When you left the hospital at 12:45 a.m., where did you go? Home. To sleep. My wife and baby were staying overnight for observation. You didn't stay with them. The nurses said only one parent could stay in a room, and my wife wanted to be alone with the baby. So I went home. What kind of car do you drive, Mr. Cross? Nathan looks confused by the question. A Mercedes-Benz E-Class, the 2024 model. How much does that car cost? About $70,000. And you mentioned you donate $5,000 a year to the hospital. What else do you do? What's your profession? I'm a commercial real estate developer. I own Cross Development Group. How much money do you make annually? Nathan's lawyer objects. Your Honor, I don't see how my client's income is relevant to a parking ticket. I'll determine what's relevant, Judge Caprio says firmly. Mr. Cross, answer the question. Nathan hesitates. Last year, I made about $800,000. Someone in the back of the courtroom whistles. Low and soft. The bailiff looks in that direction. Everyone goes quiet again. $800,000, the judge repeats. And you couldn't find a way to park legally? You couldn't pay for a parking garage even if it was full? You couldn't call a car service to pick you up? You couldn't ask a friend or family member to help? It was late at night. My wife was in labor. I wasn't thinking about logistics. No, you were thinking about convenience. Your convenience. And when someone tried to hold you accountable, you threatened them. You threw your weight around. You assumed that your money and your position meant the rules didn't apply to you. Nathan doesn't respond. His jaw is tight. His hands are clasped in front of him. The gold wedding ring catches the light. Judge Caprio picks up another piece of paper. Let me tell you what else I have here. This is a report from the hospital's parking office. It shows that on the night of October 15th, the night your son was born, the parking garage was at capacity from 8 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. However, at 10:45 p.m., several spots opened up. The garage was at 85% capacity for the rest of the night. You could have moved your car at any point after 10:45 p.m. You chose not to. I didn't know that, Nathan says. You didn't check. You didn't care. You left your car in a fire lane for 4 hours because moving it would have been inconvenient. The judge sets the paper down. He leans forward. His elbows rest on the bench. Mr. Cross, I want you to understand something. This court sees hundreds of cases every month. I've seen single mothers who got ticketed for parking 5 minutes too long at a meter because they were working 2 jobs and lost track of time. I've seen elderly people on fixed incomes who got ticketed because they couldn't walk fast enough to get back to their car. I've seen veterans, nurses, teachers, people who serve this community every single day, who made honest mistakes and came here to face the consequences. He pauses. Those people show remorse. They apologize. They take responsibility. But you walked into this courtroom and told me that your emergency was more important than anyone else's emergency. You told me that your donations should buy you special treatment. You showed no remorse for threatening a public servant. You showed no concern for the patients whose care was delayed because of your actions. Nathan opens his mouth, closes it, opens it again. Your Honor, I'm not finished, Judge Caprio says. His voice is firm but not loud. You mentioned that your wife was having a baby. That this was one of the most important moments of your life. I want you to think about something. That heart attack patient, he has a wife too. He has 3 children. One of them just started college. He was on his way home from his daughter's recital when he had the heart attack. His family thought they might lose him that night. Those 90 seconds your car added to his transport time, those seconds matter. The judge picks up a photo. He holds it up. This is Marcus Chun. He's 56 years old. He's an accountant. He's worked at the same firm for 23 years. He coaches Little League on weekends. He volunteers at his church. He's never been in trouble with the law. And now he has permanent heart damage. He'll never be able to play baseball with his kids again. He'll never be able to take his wife dancing like they used to. Nathan stares at the photo. His face is even paler now. I'm not saying his heart attack is your fault, Judge Caprio continues. But the delay in his treatment? That's on you. The stress his family felt waiting those extra seconds? That's on you. The consequences he now lives with every day? You played a part in that. I didn't mean for any of that to happen, Nathan says. His voice is softer now. Smaller. Intent doesn't erase impact. You didn't mean for it to happen, but it did happen. And when Officer Torres tried to prevent it from getting worse, you threatened him. You tried to intimidate him. You thought your money and your position would protect you. Judge Caprio takes off his glasses again. He rubs his eyes. He looks tired. Mr. Cross, I've been doing this job for almost 40 years. I've learned something important in that time. Justice isn't about punishment. It's about accountability. It's about making sure people understand the impact of their actions. It's about teaching people to think beyond themselves. He looks directly at Nathan. Really looks at him. Your son was born on October 15th. Congratulations. That's a beautiful thing. The birth of a child is a miracle. It's a gift. But that gift comes with responsibility. You're now responsible for another human being. You're going to teach him how to be a person, how to treat others, how to move through the world. The judge pauses. What are you going to teach him? Are you going to teach him that rules don't apply to people with money? That it's okay to threaten people who are just doing their jobs? That his convenience matters more than other people's safety? Nathan doesn't answer. He's staring at the floor now. Or are you going to teach him about responsibility? About accountability? About thinking beyond yourself? About treating everyone with respect, regardless of their job or their income? Still no answer. I'm going to give you an opportunity to decide what kind of father you want to be, Judge Caprio says. What kind of example you want to set for your son. Nathan looks up. There's something in his eyes now. Maybe fear. Maybe realization. Maybe both. The fine for illegal parking in a fire lane is $150, the judge says. That's nothing to you. You make $800,000 a year. You'd pay that fine and forget about it by tomorrow. That doesn't teach you anything. That doesn't make you accountable. Nathan's lawyer speaks up again. Your Honor, what are you proposing? Judge Caprio ignores him. He keeps his eyes on Nathan. Here's what's going to happen. The fine is increased to $5,000. The same amount you claim to donate to the hospital each year. Nathan's eyes widen. But that's just the beginning, the judge continues. Your license is suspended for 90 days. 90 days. 1 day for every second you added to Marcus Chen's transport time. Your Honor, that's... I'm not finished. Each word is separated. Clear. Strong. The courtroom is so quiet you could hear a pin drop. In addition to the fine and the license suspension, you will complete 200 hours of community service. And here's where you get to choose what kind of father you want to be. Judge Caprio opens another folder. You will complete those 200 hours working as a volunteer parking attendant at Rhode Island Hospital. Every Saturday and Sunday for 20 weeks. 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. You will help people find parking spots. You will direct traffic. You will help elderly patients get from their cars to the entrance. You will do this under the direct supervision of Officer Michael Torres, the man you threatened. Nathan's mouth falls open. You will wear a vest that says Community Service on the back. You will not tell anyone who you are or what you do for a living. You will simply help people. And maybe, just maybe, you'll learn something about service. About humility. About putting other people first. The judge isn't done. Furthermore, you will write a personal letter of apology to Officer Torres. It will be handwritten. Not typed. Not written by your lawyer. By you. You will apologize for threatening him. You will acknowledge that he was doing his job. You will deliver this letter to him in person during your first day of community service. Nathan tries to speak. Nothing comes out. You will also write a letter to Marcus Chun and his family. You will explain what you did. You will apologize for your part in delaying his care. You will take full responsibility for your actions. This letter will also be handwritten, and you will deliver it in person. Your Honor, the lawyer starts. I'm still not finished, Judge Caprio says. Mr. Cross will also attend a victim impact panel. This is a panel where people who have been affected by others' selfish choices tell their stories. He will sit there. He will listen. He will hear about what happens when people think only of themselves. The judge picks up his pen. He signs something. Additionally, Mr. Cross will be on probation for 1 year. During that year, any traffic violation, no matter how minor, will result in an immediate review of this sentence. Any sign that he hasn't learned from this experience will result in additional penalties. Nathan's lawyer puts his head in his hands. And one more thing, Judge Caprio says. Mr. Cross mentioned he donates $5,000 a year to Rhode Island Hospital. For the next 5 years, he will increase that donation to $10,000 per year. And those donations will go specifically to the Emergency Response Fund, the fund that pays for equipment and training that saves lives. Lives like Marcus Chen's. The judge looks at Nathan, really looks at him. Do you understand everything I've just said? Nathan nods slowly. His face has gone from pale to red. His hands are shaking slightly. I need to hear you say it, Mr. Cross. Yes, Your Honor. I understand. Do you want to say anything? Nathan opens his mouth. Closes it, opens it again. I didn't realize. I didn't think about it like that. I was just focused on my wife and my baby. I know you were, the judge says. His voice is softer now. Just a little. But that's the problem. You were so focused on your own situation that you couldn't see anyone else. You have a son now. He's going to watch you. He's going to learn from you. What are you going to teach him? Nathan's eyes are wet now, tears forming at the corners. I don't know what to say. You don't have to say anything right now. You have to show me. You have to show Officer Torres. You have to show Marcus Chun. You have to show your son. Not with words. With actions. There's a long pause. The clock on the wall ticks. Someone coughs. The sound echoes in the quiet courtroom. This court is trying to teach you something, Judge Caprio says. It's trying to teach you that your actions have consequences. That other people matter. That privilege doesn't exempt you from responsibility. I hope you learn these lessons. I really do. Because if you don't, you'll be back here. And next time, the consequences will be much worse. He picks up his gavel. Anything else, counselor? Nathan's lawyer shakes his head. He looks defeated. Mr. Cross. Nathan wipes his eyes. No, Your Honor. Then, this is the order of the court. $5,000 fine. 90-day license suspension. 200 hours of community service at Rhode Island Hospital under Officer Torres's supervision. Written apologies to Officer Torres and Marcus Chun, delivered in person. Attendance at a victim impact panel. 1 year probation. Increased donations to the Hospital Emergency Fund for 5 years. Do you understand? Yes, Your Honor. Bailiff, please provide Mr. Cross with the paperwork detailing his community service schedule. He will report to Rhode Island Hospital this Saturday at 6 a.m. Officer Torres will be expecting him. The bailiff steps forward. He hands Nathan a folder. Nathan takes it with shaking hands. One more thing, Judge Caprio says. Nathan looks up. Your son's name. What did you name him? Nathan looks surprised by the question. James. After my grandfather. James. That's a good name. A strong name. The judge pauses. Your grandfather would want you to be a good man. A man of integrity. A man who thinks about others. Be that man for James. Be the father he deserves. Nathan nods. He can't speak. Tears are running down his face now. He's not trying to hide them anymore. Court is adjourned. Judge Caprio hits the gavel once. The sound echoes through the room. People in the courtroom start talking immediately. Low voices buzzing like bees. Nathan stands there for a moment. Frozen. His lawyer touches his arm. Says something quiet. Nathan nods. They start to walk toward the exit. As they pass the gallery, someone stands up. It's the woman in scrubs. The RN. She looks at Nathan. Her eyes are hard. I was there that night, she says. I helped deliver your son. And then I ran down to help with the heart attack patient. I saw that Mercedes in the fire lane. I wondered whose it was. Now I know. Nathan stops. He turns to her. I'm sorry, he says. His voice cracks. I'm so sorry. She doesn't respond. Just stares at him. Then she sits back down. Nathan and his lawyer leave the courtroom. The door closes behind them with a heavy sound. Judge Caprio sits at his bench. He writes something in his notes. An elderly man in the gallery speaks up. Your Honor, if I may. The judge looks up. Yes. That was the right call. My son is an EMT. He's told me stories about people blocking ambulances. It makes his job so much harder. What you did today, that was justice. Several people in the gallery nod. One person starts clapping. Slow claps at first. Then others join in. Within seconds, the whole courtroom is applauding. Judge Caprio raises his hand. The clapping stops. Thank you, but that's not necessary. This court doesn't do this for applause. It does it because it's right. Because everyone deserves equal treatment under the law. Whether you make $100,000 a year or $38,000 a year. The bailiff calls the next case. People start filing out. The courtroom returns to normal. Just another day in Providence Municipal Court. But for Nathan Cross, nothing will ever be normal again. 6 weeks later, on a cold Saturday morning in December, Nathan Cross stands in the parking lot of Rhode Island Hospital. He's wearing jeans and a plain gray sweatshirt. No designer clothes. No gold jewelry. No expensive watch. Just simple clothes and the bright orange vest that says Community Service in big black letters on the back. Officer Michael Torres stands next to him. He's holding a clipboard. His stance is wide. Compensating for the leg injury Judge Caprio mentioned. You're going to start by learning the layout, Torres says. His voice is firm but not unkind. The parking garage has 5 levels. The first 2 levels are usually full. The 3rd level usually has spots. The 4th and 5th are almost always available. Your job is to direct people to where there's space so they're not circling endlessly. Nathan nods. He hasn't said much this morning. He showed up at 5:45 a.m. 15 minutes early. He handed Torres an envelope. Inside was the handwritten letter. Torres read it right there. Didn't say anything. Just folded it and put it in his pocket. You'll also help elderly patients, Torres continues. See that woman getting out of her car? He points to an older woman struggling with a walker. That's your job. You help her get the walker out. You walk with her to the entrance. You make sure she's safe. Nathan watches the woman. She's moving slowly. Each step careful. Okay, he says. And one more thing, Torres says. He looks at Nathan directly. I don't care who you are outside of here. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care about your fancy car or your big house. Here, you're just someone doing community service. You're here to help people. That's it. Understood. Understood. Good. Now go help that woman. Nathan walks over. His footsteps echo on the concrete. Excuse me, ma'am? Can I help you with that? The woman looks at him. She sees the orange vest. She smiles. Oh, that would be wonderful. Thank you. Nathan helps her get the walker fully extended. He walks beside her as she makes her way toward the entrance. She talks about her doctor's appointment, about her arthritis, about her grandchildren. Nathan listens, really listens. When they reach the door, she pats his arm. You're a good young man. Thank you for helping. Nathan doesn't correct her, doesn't tell her this is court-ordered. He just says, you're welcome. I hope your appointment goes well. He walks back to Torres. The officer nods. Good. Now see that car circling? Flag them down. Tell them there's spots on level 4. This continues for 5 hours. Nathan directs cars. He helps people carry things. He walks with patients who move slowly. He pushes wheelchairs. He holds doors. He answers questions about where different hospital departments are located. At 11 a.m., Torres checks his watch. That's it for today. You did okay. Same time next week. Nathan nods. He's tired. His feet hurt. He's not used to standing for 5 hours straight. Officer Torres. Yeah. I meant what I said in the letter. I was wrong. I shouldn't have threatened you. You were just doing your job. Torres looks at him for a long moment. You want to know something? I've been doing this job for 6 years. You're not the first person to threaten me. Won't be the last. People get angry when they're inconvenienced. They forget that I'm a person. That I'm just trying to make the hospital safer for everyone. He pauses. But you are the first person who came back and apologized. Really apologized. So yeah, I accept it. Nathan feels something in his chest. Relief maybe. Or gratitude. Thank you. Don't thank me. Just learn from this. Be better. I'm trying. Torres nods. I can see that. See you next week. Nathan walks to his car. It's not the Mercedes. He sold that 2 weeks ago. Couldn't stand looking at it. Now he drives a Honda Accord. 3 years old. Nothing fancy. He gets in. Starts the engine. His phone buzzes. A text from his wife. How did it go? He types back. Hard. But good. I'll tell you about it when I get home. Another text appears. This one from his lawyer. Judge Caprio's clerk called. They received your letter to Marcus Chun. They're arranging a meeting for next month. Nathan stares at the message. His stomach twists. He's been dreading that meeting. What do you say to someone whose life you changed for the worse? How do you apologize for something like that? But he knows he has to do it. Judge Caprio was right. Actions have consequences. And taking responsibility means facing those consequences head on. He drives home. His wife is waiting with the baby. James is 8 weeks old now. He's sleeping in a bassinet by the couch. Nathan looks at him. This tiny person who depends on him completely. His wife hugs him. You smell like parking garage, she says with a small smile. Yeah. I was directing traffic for 5 hours. How was it? Nathan sits down. He's quiet for a moment. Humbling. Really humbling. I helped this elderly woman with her walker. And this family who couldn't find parking. And this guy in a wheelchair who needed help getting his chair out of his van. And the whole time I kept thinking about what Judge Caprio said. About how I only thought about myself. His wife sits next to him. She takes his hand. You're learning. I'm trying. I have a long way to go. James makes a small sound in his sleep. Nathan looks at him again. I want to be better for him. I want him to be proud of who his father is. He will be, as long as you keep trying. They sit in silence for a while, watching their son sleep, thinking about the future, about the kind of people they want to be. 8 weeks turn into 12, then 16. Nathan shows up every Saturday and Sunday at 5:45 a.m. Rain or shine, cold or hot, he directs traffic. He helps patients. He learns people's names. Mrs. Peterson, who comes every week for chemotherapy. Mr. Davis, who has dialysis 3 times a week. The young mother who brings her son for physical therapy. He starts to see patterns. The elderly couple who always arrive at 7 a.m. for the husband's heart appointment. They hold hands as they walk. Nathan makes sure to save a close parking spot for them. Officer Torres watches. He doesn't say much, but Nathan notices he's less stern now. Sometimes they talk during slow periods. About Torres's daughter. About Nathan's son. About their different lives. You're getting better at this, Torres says one Saturday morning in February. People actually look for you now. Mrs. Peterson asked where you were last week when you were late. Nathan smiles. I was only 5 minutes late. James had a diaper blowout right as I was leaving. Welcome to parenthood. They share a laugh. It's strange. 6 months ago, Nathan threatened this man. Now they're standing in a parking lot at 6 a.m. laughing about baby poop. Can I ask you something? Nathan says, Sure. Why did you give me a chance? After everything I said to you that night, you could have made this miserable for me. But you didn't. Torres leans against a parking pillar. You want to know the truth? When Judge Caprio told me you'd be working under my supervision, I was angry. I didn't want to deal with some entitled rich guy who thought he was better than everyone. I figured you'd show up late, do the bare minimum, and learn nothing. He pauses. But then you showed up early that first day. You handed me that letter. And I could tell you meant it. You weren't just saying sorry because the judge made you. You actually felt it. That changed things for me. Nathan nods slowly. I did mean it. I still do. I know. That's why I'm not hard on you. You're actually trying to learn. That's more than most people do. A car pulls up. An older woman rolls down her window. Excuse me, where can I park? Nathan walks over. Good morning. There's plenty of space on level 3 today. Take the ramp to the left and you'll see spots near the elevator. Thank you, sweetheart. As she drives away, Torres chuckles. Sweetheart. She called you sweetheart. She calls everyone that. She's here every Tuesday and Saturday for her husband's appointments. You remember their schedule? I remember a lot of the regulars. It helps to know who needs what. Mr. Hernandez needs a wheelchair spot. Mrs. Kim has trouble with the elevator buttons. The Rodriguez family always brings 3 kids who need bathroom breaks immediately. Torres shakes his head, smiling. You really have learned something. I'm trying. In March, the meeting with Marcus Chun finally happens. Nathan has rewritten the letter 4 times. Each version felt inadequate. How do you apologize for something like this? What words are enough? The meeting is at the hospital, in a small conference room. Marcus Chun walks in with his wife. He's shorter than Nathan expected. He moves carefully. His wife stays close to him. Nathan stands. His hands are shaking. Mr. Chun. Mrs. Chun. Thank you for agreeing to meet with me. Marcus nods. He sits down. His wife sits next to him. She holds his hand. Nathan sits across from them. The letter is on the table. He slides it toward them. I wrote this. I know it's not enough. I know words can't fix what happened, but I needed to say it anyway. Marcus picks up the letter. He reads it slowly. His wife reads over his shoulder. When they finish, Marcus sets it down. He looks at Nathan. Why did you do it? He asks. His voice is quiet but firm. Why did you park there? Why did you leave your car for 4 hours? Nathan takes a breath. Because I was selfish. Because I was only thinking about myself and my wife and my baby. Because I didn't think about anyone else. Because I thought my situation was more important than anything else happening at the hospital that night. Did you know I was having a heart attack? No. I didn't know until the judge told me. But that's not an excuse. I should have thought about the possibility. That's why fire lanes exist. I just didn't care. And I'm so sorry. Marcus is quiet for a long time. His wife squeezes his hand. Finally, he speaks. The doctors told me that the delay probably didn't make a huge difference. That my heart damage would have been similar either way. But I think about it. I think about those 90 seconds. I wonder what might have been different. I think about it too, Nathan says. Every single day. I can't work the same way anymore, Marcus continues. I get tired easily. I can't do the things I used to do with my kids. My daughter wanted me to walk her down the aisle at her wedding next year. I'm not sure I'll be able to make it down the aisle without stopping. Nathan's eyes fill with tears. I'm so sorry. I wish I could take it back. I wish I could go back and make a different choice. But you can't. No, I can't. All I can do is try to be better. Try to make sure I never put my convenience above someone else's safety again. Marcus looks at his wife. They seem to communicate without words. She nods slightly. He turns back to Nathan. My wife thinks I should forgive you, Marcus says. She's a better person than I am. More religious. She believes in redemption. Nathan waits. Doesn't speak. Lets Marcus say what he needs to say. I'm not there yet, Marcus admits. I'm still angry. Still grieving the life I had before. But I can see you're trying. I can see you're taking responsibility. That's more than most people do. I understand if you can't forgive me. I don't expect you to. Maybe someday I will. But not today. Today, I just needed to see you face to face. To know that you understand what you did. To know that you're not just some faceless person who parked illegally and moved on with their life. I understand. And I won't move on. This changed me. It had to. They talk for another 20 minutes. Marcus tells Nathan about his life. About his job. About his kids. About the recital he was coming from when the heart attack happened. His daughter played piano. She's majoring in music at college. Nathan listens. Really listens. He doesn't interrupt. Doesn't try to defend himself. Just listens. When they stand to leave, Marcus's wife speaks for the first time. I've been praying for you, she says to Nathan. For your family. For your baby. I pray that you learn from this. That you become the person God wants you to be. Nathan doesn't know what to say to that. Thank you, he finally manages. After they leave, Nathan sits in the conference room for a long time. Thinking. Processing. His phone buzzes. A text from his wife. How did it go? He types back, it went. I'll tell you when I get home. But when he gets home, he can't really explain it. He just holds James and thinks about Marcus Chen's daughter playing piano. About Marcus sitting in the audience, proud of her. About the heart attack on the way home. About the ambulance having to navigate around a silver Mercedes. About choices and consequences. The weeks continue. Nathan completes his community service hours. All 200 of them. On his last day, in late April, Officer Torres shakes his hand. You did good, Torres says. Really good. I didn't think you would. But you proved me wrong. Thank you for giving me a chance. Thank you for taking it seriously. Most people just go through the motions. You actually changed. They exchange phone numbers. Torres says, if you ever want to volunteer here beyond your required hours, let me know. We could use someone like you. Nathan is surprised. Really? Really? You're good with people. You care. That matters. Nathan thinks about it. Can I bring my son? When he's older. Show him what I did. Teach him about helping people. Torres smiles. Yeah, I think that would be good. 2 weeks later, Nathan returns to court for his probation review. Judge Caprio sits at the bench. He reads through Nathan's file, the community service completion form, the letters from Officer Torres and hospital staff, the attendance records from the victim impact panel. Mr. Cross, the judge says, "Come forward." Nathan approaches. He's wearing a simple suit. Nothing fancy. His lawyer is with him, but Nathan does the talking. "Your Honor, I wanted to thank you." Judge Caprio looks up. "Thank me. For not letting me off easy. For making me face what I did. For teaching me something I should have learned a long time ago." "And what's that?" "That I'm not special. That my situation isn't more important than anyone else's. That money doesn't exempt me from responsibility. That other people matter just as much as I do." The judge nods slowly. "Did you meet with Marcus Chun?" "Yes, sir. In March. He told me he's not ready to forgive me yet. I understand that. I told him I'd be here if he ever is ready." "How did that meeting make you feel?" Nathan thinks about the question. Terrible. Seeing what my choices did to him. Seeing how his life changed. But also grateful. Grateful that he agreed to meet me. That he gave me a chance to apologize face to face. "And your community service?" "I completed all 200 hours. Officer Torres supervised me. He taught me a lot. About service. About humility. About thinking beyond myself." Judge Caprio makes a note. "I've received a report from Officer Torres. He speaks highly of you. He says you went above and beyond. That you connected with patients. That you showed genuine care." Nathan doesn't know what to say to that. "I tried my best. That's all anyone can ask." The judge closes the file. "Your probation is continued for the remaining 6 months. But I'm removing the provision about any minor traffic violation triggering a review. I don't think that's necessary anymore. You've shown genuine change. Genuine growth." "Thank you, Your Honor." "Don't thank me. Thank yourself. You did the work. I just gave you the opportunity." Nathan nods. "Can I ask you something? Why did you do this? Why did you give me such a hard sentence? Other judges might have just given me the fine and moved on." Judge Caprio leans back in his chair. "Because I saw potential in you. I saw someone who was on a bad path but could change direction. And because I've been doing this job long enough to know the difference between someone who's a bad person and someone who's just made bad choices. You weren't a bad person. You were just someone who needed to learn a hard lesson." "Did I learn it? What do you think?" Nathan thinks about the past 6 months. About early mornings in the hospital parking lot. About Mrs. Peterson's chemo appointments. About Marcus Chen's face when he talked about his daughter's recital. About James sleeping in the bassinet while Nathan told his wife about his day. "Yeah," he says. "I think I did." "Then my job is done." Nathan leaves the courtroom. Outside, his wife is waiting with James. The baby is 4 months old now. Growing fast. Nathan takes him, holds him close. "How did it go?" his wife asks. "Good. Really good." He said, "I've changed." "You have." They walk to the car. The Honda Accord. Nathan buckles James into his car seat. The baby looks up at him with wide eyes. Innocent eyes. Eyes that trust him completely. Nathan makes a silent promise. He promises to be the kind of father James deserves. The kind of man Marcus Chun can maybe someday forgive. The kind of person Officer Torres was proud to supervise. The kind of person who thinks beyond himself. He drives home slowly, following the speed limit, using his turn signals, stopping completely at stop signs. All the small things that seemed annoying before. Now they're just part of being responsible. That night, after James is asleep, Nathan sits at his computer. He opens his email. He starts typing. "Dear Judge Caprio, I wanted to write to you one more time. Not because I have to, but because I want to. 6 months ago, I walked into your courtroom thinking I was above the law. Thinking my situation was more important than anyone else's. Thinking my money and my position meant the rules didn't apply to me. You showed me how wrong I was. You didn't just punish me. You educated me. You made me see beyond myself. You made me understand that every choice has consequences. That other people's lives matter just as much as mine. The community service you assigned wasn't just a punishment. It was a gift. I met people I never would have met otherwise. Mrs. Peterson, who faces cancer with more grace than I face a bad day. Mr. Davis, who smiles through dialysis. Officer Torres, who serves his community with dignity despite people like me threatening him. I met Marcus Chun. I looked him in the eye and saw the impact of my selfishness. That meeting will stay with me forever. Most importantly, you gave me the chance to become a better father to my son. James is 4 months old now. Every day, I think about what kind of example I'm setting, what I'm teaching him about how to treat people, how to move through the world. Because of you, I can teach him about responsibility, about accountability, about thinking beyond himself, about treating everyone with respect. I know I can't change what I did, but I can change who I am. And I'm trying every day to be worthy of the second chance you gave me. Thank you. Respectfully, Nathan Cross. He reads it over, hits send, closes the laptop. In his chambers, hours later, Judge Frank Caprio reads the email. He smiles slightly. He saves it in a folder labeled Successes. There aren't as many emails in that folder as he'd like, but each one reminds him why he does this job. Justice isn't about punishment. It's about accountability. It's about teaching people to be better. It's about giving people the chance to change and the tools to make that change happen. Nathan Cross walked into his courtroom as one kind of person. He walked out as another. That's what justice should do. The judge closes his computer. He looks at the photo on his desk. His own children, now grown with children of their own. He thinks about what he wants his legacy to be. Not harsh sentences, not tough penalties, but changed lives. People who learned, people who grew, people who became better versions of themselves. That's justice. That's what matters. Money can buy many things. It can buy expensive cars and designer clothes and fancy watches. It can buy comfort and convenience and luxury. But money cannot buy back time. It cannot undo harm. It cannot erase consequences. It cannot purchase respect or integrity or character. And in Judge Frank Caprio's courtroom, it definitely cannot buy justice. Justice is equal. It's fair. It's about what you do, not who you are or how much money you have. It's about facing the consequences of your choices and learning to be better. Nathan Cross learned that lesson. He learned it the hard way, but he learned it. And somewhere in Providence, Rhode Island, a baby named James will grow up with a father who knows the difference between right and wrong, who knows that other people matter, who knows that privilege comes with responsibility. That baby will never know about the parking ticket, about the courtroom, about the judge who changed his father's life. But he'll see the results every day, in how his father treats people, in how his father talks about service and responsibility, in how his father helps others without expecting anything in return. That's the real punishment Judge Caprio gave Nathan Cross. Not the fine, or the community service, or the license suspension. It was the gift of becoming a better person. And that gift will last a lifetime.